FYI, if you have never watched Gilmore Girls and you are interested in watching it, do not watch this video. Leave a like. Leave a little like. And then come back to it after you've watched it. Because obviously, major spoilers. I'm literally like spilling the tea on everything. Okay? So, spoilers. It's time to get serious. We are gonna talk about Gilmore Girls. It's one of those shows that just gives you comfort, cozy little time, which is why we are in our cozy attire with our Luke's candle in the back. I think I got that at Hallmark. Talk about the energy, the setting, the scenery. Stars Hollow, which is a fictional city, and it's kind of between New York and New Haven, somewhere between there. Connecticut, and the weather is just always perfect. It's never too hot, it's never too cold, but it is a beautiful setting. It looks like fall 24/7. Okay, I love fall, and this is why I resonate with it so much. It's like orange leaves, or whenever it's snowing, it's white snow everywhere, and it's just the whole vibe. You can walk anywhere you want because you're not gonna get kidnapped. It's a safe, wholesome place. The main characters: Lorelai Gilmore, her daughter Rory Gilmore, and there's Luke, who works at a coffee shop. Lorelai works at an inn, and she has her best friend Suki, who's the chef, and one of her other friends, Michelle. There's also the grandparents, Lorelai's parents, which she has a rocky relationship with, Emily and Richard. And there's, of course, the infamous boyfriends that Rory has: Dean, Jess, and Logan. We'll get to that in a bit. I'll start off by talking about my top 5 favorite characters: Lorelai, Richard, Michelle, Logan, Rory. Favorite moment is Kirk's short film. You know what? No. Take Rory off my top 5 people. Kirk is my favorite person ever, and I love him, and I forgot to talk about him in the beginning. When Luke's sister or anybody from Luke's high school remembers him making out with this certain person, and he denies it every single time. Like, can we talk about that for a little bit? Accusing Luke of sleeping with Crazy Carrie, and he denies it each and every time. And that's a big question of mine. Did Luke and Carrie make out under the bleachers? But I feel like we need to take it on a deeper level. Fun fact about this first episode of Gilmore Girls: I learned that the actress, I think her name's Alexis, the one that plays Rory, she was sick and she had a cold, and her voice is a lot deeper than the next episodes coming up. I personally think that the first season Rory was a lot sassier than the other seasons, and I really love it, honestly. I think she should have stayed sassy the entire time, but we digress. So the show opens, we see these characters coming up, and we're being introduced to them for the first time. Rory wanting to get into this school, Chilton. She wants to get on track to go to Harvard. She lives in a small town. Mom doesn't make a lot of money. Mom's single, yada yada. They go to the grandparents for help with money. Hot take on this, okay? Emily and Richard. They have a rocky relationship with Lorelai. Can I get opinions on that? People say, you know, you don't understand a toxic relationship with parents if you don't side with Lorelai. I don't know how I feel. I understand that she felt trapped in her house with her parents, and then she ran away with the baby and just kind of cut them off. But I have a back and forth with this. If you think your parents are that toxic and you don't want to be around them, and then when they help you and want to get closer to you, you continue to push them away, but it's like, help me, but stay over there. I don't know, okay? Don't shoot me. Don't come at me, okay? It's just my opinion. The whole Chilton thing, needing the money, I understand. Rory's dad comes into the picture. We've never seen him. We don't know his name. We don't know anything about him. And then he shows up on a motorcycle. We know more about the relationship. Very rocky between Lorelai and Chris. There was this episode where they kind of like go back in time and they see when Lorelai got pregnant. She was pregnant at 16. Parents of Chris, the father, wanted her to have an abortion because they wanted their son to go to college and like his life was ruined, whatever. There's this episode where it's them as adults with the same grandparents who wanted them to abort the baby. And they blame Lorelai still for their son not going to college and doing everything that they wanted him to do. But Chris wasn't in Rory's life. So he was not supporting his kid financially, emotionally, physically. So why did he not go to college? I have no clue. No clue. Let's just talk about the character building in these characters. Number one, let's just start with Lorelai. I think she's a hoot and a half, okay? I love her, but there is something that ticks me off. I feel like she only cares about herself. Don't scream at me, okay? Many times where she kind of ignores the people around her, like obviously the background characters. I feel like they're the background characters, like in her head, you know, like in that character's head, like everybody else around her literally doesn't matter, and she will push people out of a seat if she wants it. She will ignore someone if she wants to. Like, it's just very much like me, 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 me. I'm the star of the show. And she is the star of the show. But do we want the star of the show to act like that? But other than that, I think she's amazing. Another big part in the whole story is obviously the boyfriends. Hello. Hello. Rory's first boyfriend is Dean. Rory, I feel like I need to say this as well. This is an important question that I ask everyone. Who is your favorite boyfriend? I always ask this question to someone who I know has watched Gilmore Girls. Which is your favorite boyfriend? Do y'all want to know mine? Logan. Out of all the boyfriends, honestly, the way that Dean turned out, cheater, liar, scum, between my toes. And then there's Jess, who is emotionally unavailable, but he is really cute. And there's, please assassinate me right now, Logan. He is like a little playboy, very cute, very financially stable. He pulls out the works for Rory every time. I like him. I don't like him. And I think out of all her exes, I feel like he took care of her the most. I've heard many times that people say that the writer of this story hates Rory because of her character development. She starts off as this picture perfect little queenie. She comes from a single mother. She's so sweet. She's so whatever. She's so smart. Gradually, she just makes terrible choices. So she has a boyfriend, Dean, okay? They were together for a while. He's like the best boyfriend ever, so sweet, so kind. I honestly loved Dean in the beginning, as I think most of us did. And then a new boy comes into town, Jess Mariano. And when he came to town, it was like, Dean who? Dean, where are you at? Because you're not here anymore. Poor Dean went through the ringer. Like, I felt so bad for him. And Rory knew what she was doing. Okay, she knew. She emotionally cheated before she actually cheated. She cheated on Dean with Jess. She kissed Jess, and then she went to like Washington, and she came back and she was jealous that Jess had a girlfriend. And then she never told Dean. Never told him what happened. What? When that happened, I was like, you sicko, you sick person. How do you do that and like you don't feel bad? Like, okay, she felt bad, but she did not feel bad. The progression of her bad decisions go on. One of the big terrible choices and terrible mentality that she had, you already know it, I already know it, sleeping with Dean when Dean was married. Did we see this coming? Yes. The episodes or the events leading up to that, it was clear she did not give a fuck. And he did not give a fuck about his relationship. Dean gets married to Lindsay. Now, can we talk about Lindsay for a second? Because why do so many people hate her? I think she's cute. I think she's nice. She didn't have too much screen time to make me hate her. I don't get it. I don't get it. I like Lindsay. And I think Lindsay deserved better. That moment when they slept together, I was like, done, over. And when her mother caught them and called her out, as she should, Rory just didn't get it. She didn't get the vibes because she thinks that she's like higher up. Ugh, she is the other woman. She is a homewrecker and he is dingy. There is a newer series of episodes up to date, like after college, and you know, it's like an after Gilmore Girls, where more bad decisions were made. But I won't get into that because that's a whole other series. But just know, she doesn't learn from her mistakes, okay? There is a scene that I kind of want to get into, and I want to hear people's takes on it. Rory and Dean are together. There's a town, whatever, happening. It's about a basket, and if somebody bids on your basket, you get to go and have lunch with them. Do we see where this is going? Dean is bidding on her basket, but Jess is there. He bids more money, wins the basket. Rory's like, but it's a town thing and I have to follow the rules. Please shut up. I truly hate this scene. It pisses me off so much. That was something a lot of people were like, I understand her, like he should be more secure. Be for real. Be for real. Also, another opinion. If Jess, and I want to say this loud and clear, okay? If Jess was indeed a Tess, if Jess was a girl, everybody would hate him. You know why? Because there's a double standard. If Jess was a woman, everybody would hate him because he's a homewrecker, because he's this, he's a slut, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of people who are Team Jess. And I understand it. He's cute. He reads books. He's smart. But he's also a homewrecker. I said my piece. Talk about Suki. We haven't talked about Suki at all. I think that Melissa McCarthy is literally the best actress ever. And I love her for this part. She is very funny, ditzy. There's nothing that I hate about Suki. And I love her and Jackson's little love story. I love everything about it. But the vasectomy thing, Jackson was wrong. Wrong for lying to Suki about getting a vasectomy. That poor woman got pregnant again. And did we ever hear about that baby? No. But I think that their love story was literally the most wholesome thing out of the entire show. So back to what I was saying about people thinking that the writers hated Rory. The writers did Lane so dirty. Lane Kim is Rory's best friend, okay, since elementary school. Her storyline, honestly, she deserves so much more. It starts off her being this kind of like kid who doesn't really do much because her mom's very strict and religious. She wants to be a rock star. She wants to play the drums. She wants to be in a rock band. She wants to do all the things, but she can't because her mother, she does it in private. Her mother finds out. She gets kicked out. She lives with a band. The very first boyfriend that she had, she met from Roy's school, Chilton. She met this guy who was also Korean, and she was like, oh no, my parents are gonna love him. I can't let them know about it. Oh no. And this whole thing was ruined because of that mindset. For some reason, if her parents liked him, she would dislike him. Okay. And then she meets Dave. She's so desperate for her mother's approval. What? Do you see my dilemma here? She wants her mother's approval, but with this guy, she was disgusted by it. She could have had a good relationship with this guy. She, you know, gets in a relationship with Dave. Eventually, they're very cute, but next season, he's like gone. And then she develops feelings for one of her bandmates. Do they go together? I don't like it. No. Why Zach? Why not Brian? Brian's sweet. Brian's cute. Zach? They date, and then she gets married. They have sex on the honeymoon for the first time. Lane's first time. Number one, she says it was terrible. It was on the beach. There was literally crabs everywhere. And then she gets pregnant. And not only that, she's pregnant with twins. But she's happy, and that's good. But I just felt like she could have done more. She had a little window of freedom. She deserves so much more. But justice for Lane. Let's talk about Lorelai and kind of her dating life. One of the main guys that I do not like at all. Okay, I hate him. I hate his guts. And there's a lot of people who really love him, so I'm kind of scared to like give my opinion. But I am. Matt Medina? No. He honestly had a lot of red flags. He had like issues with like control that I kind of like caught on, and I was like, this is kind of weird, guys. Like, you're kind of a grown man and you're complaining about like a lot. And I'm glad she didn't get married to him. It would have been a disaster. Let's move on to Lukey Poo. I feel like you're gonna hate me. I love Luke. I do. I don't think they should have ended up together. I'm sorry. I mean, I love them. I love them as a couple. I think they're cute, and I'm happy. I'm happy with it. There is one guy that I just really liked for her, and that was, y'all are gonna eat me up for this, Jason Styles. Okay, let me explain. He was really sweet. He cared about her. He was rich. He took care of her. He was just like one of the best boyfriends that she's ever had. He was so real and he was so honest. And the only reason why they didn't work out was because of the whole him working with her dad, and then that fell through and there was a lot of drama. But I really like them together. Jason, he has my heart, and I would have liked it if they ended up together, but it's whatever. They didn't, and she is with Luke, and I love Luke, so I just think they would have been a better match. I think they would have been a better match, honestly. I do. And seeing how Luke and Lorelai ended up in the new series kind of confirms my feelings. I just don't feel like they align. I'm just a girl. I feel like I've been talking here for the longest time, and I don't even, like, I'm literally blacking out. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Well, thank you for listening to me rant on and on about my favorite show. Tell me your comments. Tell me what you think. Thank you for listening to me. If you made it this far in the video, I love you. Thank you so much for caring about my words. I care about yours. We're besties. Boop. Just killed a freaking mosquito, bruh. There's a lot of people who are Team Jess. Okay, so I look like an old lady. Oh my god. Make me look less of an old lady? No. No, it does not.